Hello guys, I just want to address quickly, yes I look like shit and I probably sound like shit. Basically, I may or may not have it. I'm in the state where I don't know. I probably will get it in the next couple of days, you know, the big corona chan, but anyways, enough about me trying to get sympathy. Let's go into it. Round 5, NRL predictions / tips. I don't know what to call this. Maybe both, who knows. So first off, the game on Thursday night is the Newcastle Knights against the Manly Sea Eagles. A lot of interesting developments are coming out of this. Obviously, in terms of like historically, it's a very interesting one for Newcastle. Of course, this year being 2022 is the 25th year since '97, which you'll not be hearing that only from me. You'll be hearing that from a lot of Knights fans and probably the broadcasting, because it's it's a big job. 25 years ago, I wasn't alive, but yeah, a lot of ins and outs. I think Ponga should be still in, or he might be out. I'm not too familiar. I don't even know if he's even still at the club, because there's a lot of talks about him going to Redcliffe. Knights still looking a little bit lackluster in terms of their team ever since coming out of that Penrith match. We were very poor against Cronulla. Manly be going okay, but yeah, Tom Trbojevic is not playing. He is out for, I think it's about 4 weeks, so I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like this is going to be actually a very close match, because usually in terms of the Knights-Manly matches, they usually are quite close. It's very rare to see one team blow out another team. In terms of sports bet, it's actually Newcastle are on $1.85, while Manly are on $1.95. So it's very close. I don't understand why Knights are the favourites, but yeah, nonetheless, I would honestly, in terms of tipping, would pick Manly to win. It will be very close, and just like that, I do think Manly are not a one-player team, but it's I don't know, people saying, but when Turbo doesn't play, he doesn't go well. But sometimes when Turbo does play, he doesn't go well. Last year when the Knights played Manly, Turbo was not a factor at all. Manly dominated the first 20 minutes, and then it just turned into a massive battle of attrition, and the Knights ended up holding out and winning. In fact, I believe Manly haven't beaten Newcastle since pre-COVID. So it's going to be very interesting. In terms of a safe bet, I'll tip Manly, but, might do that just as a bad luck kind of curse thing, so the team that I want to win, the Knights, can actually win. Even though I'm coming off round 4, which was the best run I've had so far, which was 6 of 8. Now we go into Friday. We've got the New Zealand Warriors up against the North Queensland Cowboys up at Moreton Daily Stadium, which is the stadium of Redcliffe. This one's going to be hard to predict. The Cowboys, Cowboys were really good against Brisbane 2 weeks ago. Then they took on the Roosters in what could have been solidifying of a solid team, but the Roosters just outclassed them. And then you got the Warriors, who did come off a very scrappy win against Brisbane last week. It was Brisbane, right? It was? Yeah, Adam Reynolds. Yeah, it was Brisbane. Just shows how much I'm in pain. I yearn for life to take me away. But in all seriousness, it should be really interesting. It should be another game that should be pretty close. I think the Cowboys will just about win the match. I would like to see the Warriors do well in this game. I do think the Warriors do have it in them to take the win, but I'm going to go for North Queensland in this one. Now we go on to the final game on Friday night as the Brisbane Broncos host the Sydney Roosters. Now, I feel like this match is going to be a lot closer than some of their, recent examples. Brisbane starting to kind of form as a team. They're starting to get a little bit more consistency. Some people could say consistently shit, we don't know. But the Roosters definitely did good in their bounce back against North Queensland, coming off of that Rabbitohs match. I was about to say Rabbitohs last week, but that was 2 weeks ago. It's just, time is fluttering, and this I actually look like I'm dead. I'm looking at myself right now like, Jesus Christ. But anyways, I think the Roosters should be too good for them. So far I've predicted the first 3 games, all 3 of them going to the away team. But yeah, so currently odds, Brisbane at $4.50, Roosters at $1.20. It just updated as well, so it's gone down even more. So yeah, I think the Roosters should be able to beat off Brisbane. Well, that was a sexual innuendo, wasn't it? Okay, now we go to Saturday. So we start off 3 p.m. kickoff. It is the Canberra Raiders up against the Melbourne Storm. And I did say Canberra have been pretty good in terms of their home games, but they are playing this game at McDonald's Park, which I believe is at Wagga. I think it's at Wagga. I don't know why we're doing all these matches. I know why we do matches regionally, but it's just very consistently doing these matches in region. But it's always like the usual suspects. It's always like Wagga, Mudgee. We'll be like to go into other places, you know, like I don't know, Tweed Heads. I fucking know, but yeah. So Canberra coming off a bit of a big loss to the Manly Seagulls. The Melbourne Storm. I mean, Pappenhausen was literally tearing the Dogs apart. I mean, it should be Melbourne. Like, I would be incredibly surprised if Canberra do win. If Canberra do win, I'll eat my words. Stakes. Now we're going into the 5:30 game. It is the South Sydney Rabbitohs up against the St. George Illawarra Dragons. And both teams are looking very somewhat differently. Rabbitohs did okay against Penrith. Obviously, Penrith did beating them. The Dragons did get their shit rocked by Parramatta. So, in terms of which team is looking better, I would probably say South Sydney, because left to right, yeah. So South Sydney, I do think, should take this one out. Current odds are $1.45 to South to $2.75 to St. George. St. George they just don't look that good, personally, which might piss some people off. Sorry, it's just, I think South Sydney are better than St. George, personally. Now we go into the final game on Saturday. It's the Gold Coast Titans hosting the Parramatta Eels. Now, I must say, why the hell are we getting the opposite leg of this match so quickly? These two teams played round 1, and now they're playing again 4 weeks later. This is obviously the reverse. Seabar Super Stadium, it's up at the Gold Coast. There was a lot of dubious circumstances in that first game, so it will be a very good stepping point to see where the Titans are in their thing, as Parramatta are very much red hot at the moment. It should be very interesting to figure out, because the Gold Coast Titans, for me as a team, they're a team that can take on teams like Parramatta, you know, Melbourne and Penrith, and can give it to them, exceed what their expectations and go and fight them. But then, in the same respects, against teams which they really should beat, like last week, the Tigers, and they played down to them, and they still did win, but by a fucking planets aligning type bullshit with that last try, like Jesus Christ. And yeah, so I think this match will probably be match of the round. It will be very close, but I still think Parramatta is going to take this match out. Parramatta, they definitely are on the cusp of trying to, you know, because this is kind of their last year to really push for a title. Personally, I think this is the last year of their premiership window, so they're definitely going to, I think they're going to definitely charge in and get the win over the Titans. Now we go on to Sunday's matches, and it's 4 p.m. It's the Cronulla Sharks taking on the West Tigers. I know the Tigers, they're 0-4. I think they went okay against the Titans last week, but that game was, I don't want to live through that game again. Please don't do that again. And I feel like they went okay. I honestly felt like they should have won that game. Honestly, I think the Tigers were the better team in that match. But like they say, God's evil. Oh. But anyways, you got Cronulla, who's arguably the best formed team in the NRL, not named Penrith. It's Cronulla $1.10 to win to the Tigers $7. it should be like, I'd say Cronulla by like 20 at least, unfortunately for Tigers fans. Now we go into the final game of the round. It is the Canterbury Bulldogs taking on the Penrith Panthers at CommBank Stadium. Wait, what? Why are they playing this? They're playing it at Parramatta? Is ANZ being used on the Sunday? I'll probably have something as a reason why they're not playing at ANZ, but they're playing at Parramatta Stadium. It's kind of like a sort of 1980s things when Parramatta fans burnt down the Cumberland Oval stand, which is where they used to play. In 81, they actually had to ground share with the Bulldogs at Belmore. So, crazy times we live in. Penrith, only undefeated team at the moment, coming against a Bulldogs team which are just... Honestly, I feel like they're a bit more lost now than they were last year. And last year, they got the wooden spoon. I'm not saying the Bulldogs will get the wooden spoon this year, but... Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Penrith should easily win. Like, maybe the Bulldogs can get a couple tries at least. It's just, I don't know. But Bulldogs at $5 to Penrith's $1.18. That is interesting. So there is more likelihood of Cronulla beating the Tigers than Penrith beating the Bulldogs. Crazy times to say ahead. But yep, anyways, that is my predictions. Who do you guys have? I'll probably stream some of the games if I'm not dead or dying or both. But both means only one, but whatever. Anyways, thank you all for watching and I'll see you all later.